Hello and welcome to episode 22 of our Timberborn 1.0 full release playthrough with Folktales on the Down the Plug Hole map. Cycle 32, Day 7. It has been quite a while in real life since I've played on this map. About 3 weeks, because I finally listened to a whole bunch of you who'd been yelling at me for multiple years, and I took an actual vacation, had a wonderful time. And now we're back with the Beavers, and it's very good to be back. Just to briefly recap and also kind of reorient myself, the most recent things that we did in the previous episode were get these new farms built up here, and then a little bit further back than that, we got our bad water diversion essentially complete in terms of functioning. We do have plenty flowing through here, generating a bunch of power. Obviously, things are not perfect quite yet. This pipe is obstructed because somebody built it right where the fill valve goes in. So, you know, it's not perfect. But we'll just pretend that's not a problem and move on. But there's still so many things we have to do in this. And I did read all the comments you guys left on the previous episodes. We aren't going to be able to do everything, unfortunately, but I picked out a couple things, at least for this episode, that we can discuss, and we can improve, fix, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. So, since we started with the farms, there was some discussion. Saw a couple times multiple people said that there's going to be an issue with evaporation where all these farms would dry out, and we don't want that to happen because, well, we were really low on wheat for a long time, and now I think that problem's probably permanently solved. But I did want to discuss why I don't think this one's going to dry out. We do have, not you, oak tree, we have this fluid dump here that is automated with Gary too, who, despite the extremely good suggestions I've seen for renaming, I don't think I'm going to rename because I'm honestly just going to be more confused. But I do appreciate the creativity of the renaming schemes proposed for these things. Anyway, this guy is going to keep this from ever emitting bad water, and this is always going to close when such a time occurs. And this is only one tile deep, and we're on normal mode, so it's a maximum of 9 days. So I really don't think it's going to be possible for any evaporation to occur to the degree that would actually kill the crops. Remember, potatoes have a drought resistance of 1 day, which is, you know, objectively not that good. But this is basically a full block height. Like, it's not going to evaporate that quickly. And the wheat is half a day, but again, it's a full block height. It's not going to evaporate that quickly. If it does, then yes, by all means, please do call me out. And I will deserve it. But I really don't think it's going to be an issue. Up here, there we are, where we have all of our carrots and sunflowers. Yeah, I will concede that this is a little bit bigger of an issue, but this is still 2/3 of a block high with this natural dam. We could, however, very easily just, you know, replace these with normal dams. Or not normal dams. We have the floodgates. So I think that is probably going to be the best way to go about doing this. And since it's day 7 and we're on normal mode, we probably have enough time to put these in. But I am going to need access with an actual path for them to do construction, which means probably the easiest way to do that is going to be coming in from, maybe not the other side here. We'll just make it a little bit simpler. I'll pop this here. That'll give us a little bit closer access, and then we just need to be able to come across this way. So this is a blockage. That's a full height. This is a natural dam. The easiest thing for us to do, since we do have access to dirt, is going to be to just pop in right here, and then right on top, we've got 2 floodgates. Now, they can't build this other one without first walking over to... I don't think they can actually walk on these, now that I think about it. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Yeah, something tells me they're not going to want to do that. Can I? No, I cannot. Which makes me believe that maybe they can walk on it. Well, this will give them something to chew on, I guess, literally, because they're beavers, for a little while. And let's speed through the rest of the night here. And let them, you know, just do what they gotta do. Other stuff that is worth discussing, since we did talk about the bad water diversion area. I gotta be careful how I word this, because I want to make sure I articulate exactly what I want to do. There was a request made that I attempt to explain what I want the whole reservoir setup to do, so that people can try and help provide solutions for how to automate it. So, just to recap, my goal is to completely separate the bad water from the good water that we will soon begin drilling out of these aquifers and turning this into a giant reservoir. And what I had proposed in conjunction with that was that this would be constantly generating power, and this would also retain some bad water, because remember, this is not completely full. It's got a lot of space left. And that would be continuously retaining and then slowly releasing over bad tides. Not bad tides, droughts. So we could continue. We actually, don't need these here, because we have all of these pumps in here, and we've got the zipline stations that you guys actually seem to really like. So thanks for that. What's the best way to say this? I don't really know that I need to do what I originally thought I needed to do anymore, but I kind of still want to do it just because it would be neat. So, I have read some comments that you guys proposed on some of the other videos that I posted while I was away, talking about ways to try and retain stuff down here, like we would have something set to weather sensors, and that 3 days before a drought, it would stop putting anything out, and then when the drought started, it would slowly meter it out. Different things like that, and in theory, that's kind of like what I want to do. I just don't know the settings for what might make sense. So if you want to figure something out and make a suggestion, you are more than welcome to. I'm not going to ask you to, because then I'm going to feel bad if I don't use your ideas, but if you find yourself exceedingly bored and with absolutely nothing else to do, feel free to take a crack at it. The saves are uploaded for anyone to download and do with as they so choose, provided I remember to keep it updated. But the files are available for you to play with if you like. So feel free to poke around if you want to. Can't promise I'll do exactly what you suggest, because then that's a dangerous road to go down. If you always promise people you're going to do stuff, and then when you don't do it, then you end up disappointing people, and I never want to do that. But regardless, if you've got an idea for this, I'd love to hear it. Up here, we do still need to get power tied into the other networks, and we need to get all sorts of other stuff done here. I did leave a comment, or a reply to a comment, saying, yeah, we're going to totally close the outflow thing that we ended up already having closed. I don't even know if that made sense for the way I worded it, but I guess because it's been a couple weeks since I played this, I had thought that I hadn't done that yet, but it's basically right around here. Where is that? It was like this block right here, but we did close it, so that's fine. But aside from that, there were also those of you who said that I need to close up these areas up here so we don't have any leakage. And, in theory, that's a very good and necessary thing to do. But, I mean, these tunnels are full, but it's not high enough to actually outflow, and I don't know that it's possible unless we were to come over here, like I've been discussing, and get this stopped up. So we may actually need, at some point, to do that. And just to briefly recap, we do have these natural dams here. They're not blockages, they are natural dams. They will let other stuff through beyond a full height block. So, yeah, honestly, we probably should just knock this out, even though I don't really know that it's going to be that big of a deal. It's just going to be easier if we say, you know what? Let's acknowledge that this is a real thing that could cause a problem, and just stamp it out before it becomes one. So for that to be a viable thing, it's not going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Yeah, stop me if you've heard that one before. But I don't think it would be difficult for us to come down here. I don't need spiral stairs for that. It would not be difficult for us to come in here and get this all locked and loaded. Just try to... yeah, thank you, autosave lag. Just try to get that set up in a way where it's not looking completely ridiculous. And then the same kind of deal over here. Now, we also don't have much of a path over in this direction, but that's not going to be a super hard thing to do. We just have to get over here. Yeah, the terrain on this is just treacherous. So, why not just put in, hopefully, if I can figure out how to get this set up here. Okay, that'll let me get over to there, which is pretty close. And then I can do one of these numbers. Just have to get that actually set up. And then that going over there is going to let me take care of that. So that'll stop up that one. I know the sun's going down. We're going to have to take a look-see at what we can do to solve that problem. I guess triple speed. This is probably going to be a pretty easy one to solve just because all I have to do is come in here and cap it off. And this actually isn't that far in terms of getting up here. So, all we got to do is just put a staircase there, navigate around the trees. And that should give them enough space to come in here and cap that. And then, friends, I think, you know, minus these very few remaining spots, should be pretty good to go. So that is where that comes in there. Let's just go ahead and knock these all out so it doesn't become a tremendous source of frustration later. I don't want to build zip lines over here because that would just be complete overkill. But we do need to get up here, and I don't think I have any... Yeah, I don't really have any other ways to get around doing this. So I'm just going to make this... Is that the one I want to get to? Yeah, alright. Make this mostly accessible. And nope, that is not where I want it to go, but that's fine. Bring this around here. Yeah, they're not going to be able to actually get to this because of where I placed it. So, I could move it one tile out. That's honestly probably the easiest way to do it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And then the last bit, all the way over here, theoretically could be solved with a single piece of dirt. Is that a spectacularly elegant solution? It is not. But what do I always say? Well, I always say a lot of things, but among them, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. Actually, I say variations of that. So maybe don't use me as a reliable source of quotations. Should be the takeaway there. But regardless, we will have the ability to just keep on going right along. Get around here. Thread the needle, so to speak. And then all I've got to do is put a staircase here and then reroute that. Yeah, so you know, we're going to send them on a little quest. But who doesn't love a quest, right? A lot of us played RuneScape. And those who didn't, I'm sure, played World of Warcraft or anything else that uses quests. Or at one point used quests. Okay, let's come back and check on... Oh. They never built this, but it wasn't, strictly speaking, necessary, so I guess that's fine. Okay, so we did manage to confirm that these don't actually let you walk on top of them. Which I guess is fine, because all I've got to do is remove this one natural dam, put another piece of platform here, and then, provided I haven't eclipsed the limit of the build reach, they can put these two things in. No problem. I'm going to move this up to 0.95. I don't think we're going to have to worry about flooding. These are automated, right? They are not. They are not. How did that happen? How did this happen where they're not automated? Oh, wait, never mind. Because these are the ones that had to be automated. How could I forget? Well, apparently very easily. I don't want to sit here and wait for this forever, so let's just get this sped up. Get that thing out of there, I'll put another platform in place, and then they should be able to build everything else they need. I say as this takes longer than anything else. Alright. That also needs to be demolished. We can leave them alone for that. And how are we doing on this? Okay, they're making progress. Looks like that one is done. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and remove those stairs. We're not going to need to go back over here anymore. Just make sure that is, in fact, completely sealed. And it is. And again, I don't think this is going to backflow. I mean, again, theoretically it could. We've demonstrated how that is possible. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. Now, in terms of power, we do, in fact, have this aquifer drill connected to all of these water wheels here, which is great. The only problem is these are not connected to anything else. We have an entire separate power setup here that's making 11,000 HP. And these things would love to be connected, I am absolutely sure. Where's my... There it is. We have a power tunnel that hasn't been connected to anything else. The way that this is set up, I'm not exactly sure where to feed power through. But one thing we do know, and we have talked about on multiple occasions, is that the power shafts will go through an impermeable floor. And what I did here was I actually capped everything with overhangs, which do not allow power shafts to come through. So before somebody suggests, oh yeah, you can just do that. No, I can't. We'd have to build another little connection thing here. So we need to decide what else is going to be going up here, because right now this is connected there. And we do have other aquifers that we need to power with this, which honestly probably won't be very difficult. Just a little annoying. I think for right now, getting these connected to these and then all the way over here is probably just a little bit more important. So we will need to continue working on that. Let's let the sun come up. Take a little bit of a closer look at how we might be able to route things, and then also talk about just a little bit more. Alright, so now it is day 11. Still no sign of drought or bad tide, which is, I guess, good news for us as we continue working on everything else to stop things. But power-wise, we already talked about this. This is basically where all of the power run ends, in this exact spot. We have provisions, and part of the reason why I did build this stuff the way I did was so that I could have power shaft run all the way down here, very easily connected to everything else. The problem is there's bad water here, and I don't want the beavers to become poisoned. Bad news also with that is I can't build through terrain. I can build through this, but because this is just terrain, I'm not going to be able to build anything else without sending beavers down here. That is one block up is where that shaft is, so I do actually have the means, and this isn't currently flooded, so as long as I kept beavers off of this level or below, I don't think it would be that bad of an idea. So why don't we just go ahead and make a few modifications to this. This is... Okay, so this is getting in. No, that one goes all the way... Oh, I did disconnect that technically, but that goes all the way down. And I don't want it. I don't want it to go all the way down and then back up. I want it to terminate at a different level, and I also need to get something come through here. So we need to restrict access to the very bottom, which means the easiest way to do that is to remove the stairs. Just like, how many times have I made that reference to Ed, Ed, and Eddie? They took his stairs away when he got grounded. Which, hey, great way to keep your kid in the basement, but there are some ethical concerns, I would say, related to doing that. That's a cartoon, who cares? Let's get that reconnected there with minimal fussing. Yeah, so that's going to get them to this level where they will not be contaminated. We just need to be able to get power this way, which These are all set on one level with the exception, of course, there's this platform right here that I have this laying on. So let's just rebuild this. I know it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. However, we have to do it. So I need that there so I can get the power shaft where I want it to go. All I've got to do here is just rebuild this piece right like that. That should, in theory, now that this is set up slightly differently, make it possible for this not to be a complete exercise in futility. And I do have to give them a path above so they don't become poisoned and try to find some sort of other way, or I guess a better way to word it would be so they don't have to find another route and then become poisoned as a result. Okay, this one they can build from there. And I know I can also, take all this out and put in more water wheels and so on and so forth, but maybe that's a problem for later, because I don't remember this letting me build 40 at a time. That's great. That is a tremendous quantity of those things to build at once. Now, there's no more stairs we need to know about, right? Okay. I'm going to consider that to be good enough. That'll get power back here. And again, to get this pumping, we can very, very easily build on this with a thing however we want this to be set up. And for our purposes, I guess it doesn't really matter. I think this might look slightly better like that. So this is into the hillside, and then from there all I've got to do is blast it down. That'll take me down to that level, and then from that point I need 3 more, 4 more, 5 more to get me into this, and then, provided once again that I don't have any beavers become poisoned, which, oh, this is going to be a dangerous game getting played here. Oh, I think it's going to be fine. I just need to have another tunnel at the correct height to get this over here. If the beavers can't walk down here, then there's no danger of them getting poisoned. We just, again, must be careful. And they can do tunnels from above. So if I do that, that goes power there. Then I can just have this go straight down from the top. That shouldn't be a problem. It just, might take a little bit of time, as these things tend to do. Look at him go. Look at him go. All right. So that probably, now that we're sufficiently done with that for the time being, draws your attention to the lack of beavers we have. And this has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but we need to we need to reorganize this in a way that is, slightly less terrible. And as at least one of you pointed out, these beavers deserve to have an upgrade as well. So that's going to be something we will continue working toward in due time. The reason I have not built as much in the water is because I don't know which areas are actually going to be flooded full time. So that has kind of caused me to, take a pause every so often when I'm thinking about, oh, maybe I should do that. Well, I think we might as well go ahead and commit. All right, we'll put a triple lodge right here. This is as high as that's going to go, by the way. Put a triple lodge here and then get it connected. We can extend this. They do have access through a zip line, so it's not going to be the end of the world when this gets. There we go. Great English. Great English. Went on vacation and forgot how to speak English. Good job. Get this connected here. And, why not? Why not just put one of these here? Give it a little bit of decoration. Beaver statues. We want some lanterns. Actually, a lantern right here wouldn't be a bad idea. Just right in front of like that. Do we have any up here? We have this thing, which I guess maybe counts, but could do one here and one here, just right by the stairs. Not be a bad idea. which reminds me, somebody said that we should put in some lanterns down in this area. And, you know, I'd love to, but they're not going to fit. Unless I did this, which would kind of technically fit. I'm not totally in love with that being there, but I guess that's fine. It will technically count. Also, these buildings are lit, but, you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So putting this in is going to give us space for 9 more beavers. Eventually, the rest of these houses are going to go away. But the time for that is not right now. We'll just have to be able to do basically everything else. Did they get this all finished? They have not. So that is not done. Looks like this is, though, because they had to walk across it, so that's good. Was this also a way to get down? Oh. No, they took care of that. Good. And then over here, I know we still have this going all the way down. We will have to close that up. Trying to avoid a whole thing where I have to send beavers down to do a bunch of stuff. But it looks like this is finished. We're going to hit that K for kaboom. And then we're going to hit that triple dynamite again. That's going to go down to that level. And I need just one more from there. And it looks like, yeah, alright. Good job, beavers. They've got this, you know, manageably complete, except for this connecting segment, much faster than I had anticipated. So, make sure to praise them when they do good things. I don't think we're ever going to need to come back down here. So, in order to seal it up, I suppose it's not going to be mission critical anything, right? Alright. I'm going to hit the big old delete button here. It's going to give me all sorts of... Did I just make a mistake? I might have made a mistake. Bad tide in 3 days. That's good that we took care of this then. So they can grab the remnants for most of that. I am going to, I guess, in some of your opinions, cheese the game. I don't think this is cheese, but get this. Look at all those planks. I say as we have 4,100 in storage. Well, there's other things too that can get picked up, so maybe they'll come and grab those. And if not, it's not a big deal. It looks like this is just about finished as soon as this gets done. So we'll do G6 for kaboom again. And then, like I said, I think this is going to be a single dynamite situation. No, it's going to be a double. All right. Well, that makes it worth it. Let's just get that popped in place there. We're making some good progress here. This one says too far. Okay, they haven't built that yet. That's fine. Okay, looking good. We have other aquifers that have to be activated besides this one. There's one here, there's one here, there's another one here. So we're at 5, and somebody left a comment saying there's one I'd missed. But maybe that was the one that I'd missed, is that we have these 5 here. So yeah, it's, you know, I don't need to say it, because you already know. But yes, we'll come back to that in due time. How are things looking over here? This is done. Okay, and we take that off. It looks like it is proceeding quite nicely. No flooding has happened, and no flooding over here. We weren't expecting that to, at least. Another thing that was said is that I don't have any spatterdock storage, and you are exactly correct. So how do we solve that problem? Well, we kind of just have basic 200 count storage for everything, so for right now, seeing how this is currently set up, I do not think it would be a bad thing to just have a basic medium warehouse here for the time being, so we can have a little bit of slush. Get this connected here. That should be a-okay for spatterdock storage. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I know there's other areas of the map we haven't talked about yet. We're going to get there. I could probably pretty safely leave this alone. How are we looking at stuff like this? Okay. Well, we are using planks to build all that stuff, so they'll come get it eventually. But we do want to seal that up. That is coming. Along with this. But they're currently using this, and we don't want to, you know, complicate things too much. Is this ready to blow up? No, it is not. Well, they're going to do that in due time. Other stuff to talk about. I guess we could bring this up real quick. The wood workshop produces treated planks, as you know. But the main consumer of treated planks right now is actually this mine over here. So someone made the observation that it would make more sense for us to farm resin and produce all the treated planks closer to where the mine is instead of just relying on it being transported. And, you know, that's probably correct. But I don't think I'm going to be building another treated plank thing over here. What we can do instead, since we have underground ruins over here, is we can just put a mine here. That's the easiest thing to do. Is it going to be the best thing ever? Yeah, probably not. But it is going to be closer to all of this. We have our regular planks. We have our treated plank storage here. And we may actually have an opportunity to make something that doesn't look like complete garbage over here, which you know I'm always going to be a fan of. Do we need extra right now? We really don't. But what I will do, so I don't forget, is put a mine down and pause it so it does not get built. So I can hopefully remember that is what I eventually do want to put in here. But I want you guys to know I do actually read all the comments. And again, I can't do everything. But I did think that was worth bringing up. Now, over here, we've got all of this water flowing through. This does need to be raised. This is one of those things that I'm going to have them continue working on. Cutting trees down. These lumberjack flags can probably all move. And then I can get this brought over here. We probably don't need to have so many. So I'll just do 2. These are not marked for cutting. They are now. I'm going to get rid of all of these trees. And then all of these berry bushes also don't need to be here. I think we've got berries somewhere else. Yeah, we do. We have some here. So the easiest thing to do is going to be to mark all of these resources for demolition, vanishment, whatever you want to call it. And I always forget that this button now just automatically clears stumps, which is honestly an incredible innovation. And I love it with my entire heart, like most things Mechanistry does. But we'll go ahead and get this all set up. Make sure I'm not actually killing any trees without harvesting. Not that we, are hurting for logs in any way, shape, or form. But it's neat to use mechanics when they're actually like thoughtfully designed, which is basically everything in this game. All right, let's check on this. I know it's dark. It won't be soon. Okay, so this is still very much a work in progress. They're having to do one piece at a time, Johnny Cash style, which, that's fine. Looks like that's going to be okay. Is this ready to explode? No, it is not, because I guess it's sufficiently far down the pecking order here. So we'll go ahead and get that sped up. How do I have unwell beavers? I should not have any beavers who are spending time in contaminated waters to the degree that they're going to become. You know what? I guess it's counting this. It really shouldn't be. Pardon my pausing to cough and sneeze, but I hadn't thought that they would do this. So I'm kind of confused about how that would happen. Maybe they've gotten somewhere I didn't know they could get to. But regardless, we don't need that, and we don't need that. So maybe it was just standing on this one tile that had caused them to get contaminated, which is a weird thought. Okay, for kaboom. Earth-shattering kaboom. Let's pop that there, and then that can just be built entirely from the top. And then that's going to come here. And that's going to be there. Of course, we are going to waterproof this with the help of impermeable floors on multiple levels because I do not trust any of those by themselves. That's fine. And what else? Well, I guess we just kind of have to wait for them to clear all this stuff out. So I'm going to have them time-lapse this real quick. Get these trees out. And then we'll work on maybe sealing this up a little bit more if we have time before the red tide comes in. Alright, so they didn't get everything cut down in time, but that's okay, because it's only 4 days. What I do want to talk about, though, is a little bit more of what we can do on this side of the dam. I do like the idea of dams as infrastructure not just being about holding water. In real life, you see examples of this, where, a lot of the time, larger dams, specifically for those of us in the U.S., the Hoover Dam comes to mind, there is a road going across it, and for a long time that was basically the only way to get across that area. Now, of course, there's a much bigger bridge, but this is something that we could conceivably turn into maybe an interestingly designed housing complex. We could put some houses on the backside, because, beaver dams are, well, okay, the beaver lodges are a separate thing, but the entire ecosystems that beavers inhabit have all sorts of different things erected by all the trees that the beavers cut down. And there's all these different areas the beavers like to hide and all that. So I thought that would be kind of a neat thing to put right here, and also helps us increase our beaver count. So what we have here is a great opportunity to just have a path come across this way. And I've got 5 spaces here, which we don't necessarily need to backfill some of this, but I think we will. And what I'm going to do for that is pop platforms here, and then I'm going to put dirt down just because I can. I think it's going to be... Oh, it might actually be kind of hard for them to be able to do this the way that I was thinking about it. Well, I'll tell you what. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's run it. Let's just put that there. This, of course, being up on stilts because we have... I can click on it. It's not going to let me. Because we have the fill valve down here. The sluice, if you will. And this, of course, is like the emergency overflow, which, once we have all this taken care of, can be raised. But I thought it would be neat if we just put in housing right on the top of this. That doorway is in the middle. This one, oh, that one somehow got put in the wrong spot. But then that can go there. The doorways aren't necessarily evenly spaced out, but it's going to look okay. Put another 2x3 on there. And then on top of this guy, we've got options. We can do Braziers of Bonding or the Farmer Monument. And Fountain of Joy is something else that probably should go somewhere kind of like here-ish. But I don't hate the idea of popping in something like this. We do have a Farmer Monument somewhere already, but that probably is going to end up being moved. So why don't we instead take 3,000 science? We have all these planks. Might as well use them, right? Brazier of Bonding right on top. There you go. You live under a landmark. Enjoy that. But I do need to get beavers on the back side here, so the easiest way to accomplish that is to get, I suppose, just straight down here. I'm going to leave this open, but we could probably do a similar thing on the other side here. It's not quite even, which, that's the kiss of death. Anytime I touch something that's not perfectly symmetrical, I've got to, completely fix it. But I just thought that would be kind of a neat way to do this. So let me know your thoughts about that, if you think that is a worthwhile expenditure of time and resources. This can go... I guess there's fine. Yeah. And we'll do a similar setup there and there. Do I want to do a Brazier of Bonding here as well? Yeah, why not? Why not? We can do one of those, and then Farmer Monument can actually touch everything, but it's not 3 blocks wide. Ew. It's not symmetrical. Who cares? I cares. And hopefully that's enough. So I wonder if... Okay, they haven't actually started building this. So let's think critically here. The Farmer Monument has a smaller range, so it should be further to the outside. And then, yeah, I'll just do the easy thing. Actually, no. I'm not thinking with portals here. There we go. There we go. See, that's what I should have been doing the whole time. That is what I should have been doing the whole time. Come on, rotate. There we go. There we go. There's your bonding. Yeah. It's ugly, but it's fine because it's a point of pride for the beavers. How about that? All right. So that's a decent backside of the dam there, and this, of course, will allow us to get the water raised up. So on and so forth. Beavers like to get wet, as one does, so that, I think, is going to be fine. I'll just give them a little pathway there. Build the rest of that. So once these are all built, then that should allow us to clear out most of this housing here, and it's not going to look completely stupid. See, this is where I wish I had installed the dam decoration mod, which we've used numerous times in other playthroughs. But I don't have any mods on this playthrough, so, well, none of consequence at least. So I'm kind of at a loss as to what else I might want to do here. We can maybe come back to that. I think that's worth discussing. But I thought maybe you guys would appreciate seeing some housing expansion that is not necessarily just stick it wherever it'll fit, but hey, beavers can be in water, and this is a space that had been kind of underwhelmingly utilized, I guess we could say. So, yeah, let's come back and check on this stuff. All right, so progress is being made. Contaminated beavers are contaminated. We knew that was the thing. So this is actually connected, it looks like, yeah, and we've got our what do you call it? The impermeable floors actually done there. Yeah, they just need to come down here and take care of it. Which, because of the way this is set up, is a very, very, very slow process. So let's help them out. Let's build another thing that's going to allow them to cut across here and start building more at once. I think, in theory, that should help things go splendidly quickly. So I'm going to time-lapse this again and let them just get the rest of this built out, and then we can move on and talk about some other stuff. Alright, so we're at cycle 33, and they've gotten most of this put in. That helped a lot. We'll let them just continue on their own pace for the rest of it. And now, we have a stranded beaver, which I saw at least a couple comments on one of the previous videos that I ignored a stranded beaver and they died, so let's not do that again. Somehow this bumbling idiot decided it would be a smart idea to get stuck there, so let's give him a helping hand. Who is it that got stuck? However that's pronounced. So, congratulations on somehow being really dumb. I guess we just have to get that prioritized. And then, hopefully, before this beaver dies, they'll be able to escape. But, even if they don't, that's showbiz, so that's the way it goes. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good job. Don't do it again. I am completely aware that they are absolutely going to do it again. Oh, you know how smart I am? I didn't put any stairs on this side. Why is it not working? Gee, I don't know. Look within yourself and find the answers that you seek. Okay, so that's not connected to anything because of reasons. Let's just get rid of that. And then I guess I can have them come by and get that done. Tooth Grindstone can go away. I probably should have checked and if I had another one, and I don't. So let's move that. Let's actually take a pause here and locate a decent location for one of these. Oh, I forgot these were going to get killed. Is what it is. I should probably have these closer to where trees are actually being cut down. Or at the very least near one of these. So I'm just going to pop that there. That should be okay. That's probably fine. Food stocks are slowly going up on the maple pastries. I do want to redo this. It's probably not going to be today, but we'll see what happens. I do very much want this to be a decent thing. I think the levee in front of the dirt here might actually look better, so let's roll with that. Okay, they still haven't gotten this ad here, and I think I'm out of patience for it. It's not really gonna be a big deal. So let's give this a path to go all the way in there. Okay, this is also flooding randomly. So I guess we're going to have them get rid of that, and then we're going to block the rest of this up. We can flood the back side of it and have a little bit more water stored up. And have some more housing that's not going to be completely a disaster. Love to see it. I just want to make sure they get this taken care of. Got all these logs on the ground we're not going to have to really be that stressed out about because we have 7,500 of them. I think it'll be okay. Alright, now that's done. That's done. Let's get rid of the paths because we don't need those where we're going. Unintentional Back to the Future reference, I suppose. I'll keep the stairs here just because it'll be convenient, but now that that's been undone, all I've got to do is come in here with a levee, and then I can get this going all the way across, and depending on how we want to do this, I had that come down in front of the staircase on the end. This isn't, you know, the best thing I've ever seen, but I'm going to, just because this is kind of similar to how this other thing was set up, I'm just gonna do one of these to get those hooked up. Now, I do want to be careful not to have all of these operating at the same time in terms of having capacity for beavers, because then that's going to cause birth wave, death wave kind of issue that we've been having for a while. So I think we can just kind of leave that as it is. Yeah, I just need them to build the rest of this, and I don't want to wait for the rest of this to get done first, so I'm going to prioritize it. I probably should also have something in front of here for them to cross, but I kind of want to make that look nice. And I'm curious about what might make more sense. So maybe I'll think about that, or you can give me suggestions if you want. Let's see, like platforms here, or try to have, look at all these beavers working here. That's cool. If you want to see some sort of other design or whatever, we can work on it. But it looks like just as soon as that spiral staircase is done, then these will all come online at the same time. I'm going to keep that one paused also. Yeah, I'm going to want to keep... This seems about right. So we'll have to remember to keep a monitor on that. But now instead of 1.9, this can go up to 2.9. Retain a whole lot more water back here. And that will be better for, not that we're ever going to run out of water, but this is, you know, what I was trying to do with this space in the first place. Just keep more water in reserve, and that is exactly what is going to happen here. Keep in mind, all of the filling is actually occurring from this, and these are just overflow. So that is a-okay. This has no power, of course, because the wheel is not turning. The wheels in the sky are not turning either. So those will probably in due time kick back on. We are coming up on the end of this episode, though, so I do want to make sure that I leave it in a decent spot. I wanted these to be done. Do we have this done, I guess is probably the better question. It looks like this all rotating. And it looks like that's rotating. And guess what? There's some nice clean water coming out of it. Which I think means everything is successful. Now, we still don't have, really don't have a good handle on how this is going to work here. I don't necessarily want that running just yet. So I'm going to pause it. And I think that's fine for now. We've gotten most everything except for this area taken up. This is going to require to do it the way I would like to do it. Maybe it doesn't require this, but it's going to require that we do some tunneling for power purposes. And these are, got 2 of them on this level. No, that's not what I wanted. On level 7, and then I've got, oh, there's another, that's the one that they were saying I was missing. Got this one here and this one here. So we've got 4 here on level, not that one, on level 11 and level 7, and this power infrastructure is on level 3. So I'm thinking we're going to have to tunnel. And by tunnel, I mean maybe waiting for a drought and just coming up to this and sending them back inside because it's already tunneled out. You know, repurposing infrastructure is all fine and well and good until you have to actually go through poison to get there. So we'll see. Let me know your thoughts on that, I guess. But I do want to get all 6 of these. Man, that's going to be a lot of fresh water coming through here. So I guess like one last thing before we go. I really liked a comment. Somebody left saying that they had a name idea for our automation area, and they was to call it Memory Lane. Because, get it? Memory? So that's what this is going to be called. So I thought it would be a nice thing at the end of the episode to put some signs here, some banners, whatever, and actually make Memory Lane. So, lane is 4 letters. Memory is 6. So it's going to be a little bit off balance. But if we did M-E-M-O-R, pretend that's a Y, space L-A-N-E, then that would get us pretty much all the way there. And I do have letters because I did download one of the... again, I'm so bad with memorizing names. But somebody in the community actually linked me to a set of banners that I believe somebody else who watches these videos had made. Or it could be the same person. Who knows? It was a very long time ago, several months ago at this time, and I do not remember who it was, so I apologize. But pretty cool stuff to be able to just put actual signs on this without it being some sort of contrived, crazy, insane workaround. These are just files dropped in the folder that you can get when you hit browse here. So that's going to be Memory Lane. I think that's really cool. They're obviously not going to have that built for a little bit, but I thought that would be a nice thing to end on. So, while they are building that, I guess we can go ahead and do our end of episode stuff. I really appreciate you guys sticking with the series. Episode 22 now. Even though I guess I technically took a break from this for about 3 weeks. But you guys were fed a pared down diet of episodes of this. So hopefully the momentum hasn't felt like it's been lost. But I am still trying to get kind of back into the swing of things here, getting the ball rolling again. But I'm having a great time with this. I hope you are too. I really appreciate all the support on this series and the channel in general. It had a very, very good last few months here with all the support for the 1.0 release. And folks, there's so much more stuff coming. We're not going to stop anytime soon. I'm going to slowly work back up to the daily videos again and get some new series started. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get Ostrov Alpha 6 after, I guess, literally 3 or 4 years possibly, because all the stuff happening over there. But very, very, very excited to get into that and some other fun things. And I know there's other games people have been begging for years for me to get into, and hopefully we can do it. But you know the names of the people on the screen, the Beard Boosters, who make all of this stuff possible, subsidizing the channel, making it so I can do fun things like the Colony reviews and the Roller Coaster Tycoon videos. And then, yes, sometimes even daring to take a couple of weeks off, take a risk, and put the channel on autopilot for a little bit so I can go rest and recharge myself. But I had a great time, and I trust that everything was mostly okay while I was away. So, again, those folks make everything possible, and I am always, always, always going to give them credit for helping make the channel what it is. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, whether you're on that list or not, I'm so glad you're here. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.